We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred.
With Maxwell Silverhammer.
We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.
Oh, yes,
yes,
bitches.
motherfuckers. It's that time of the month again, and it ain't our periods.
Not bleed week. Nope.
Not bleed week for us, although we will be spilling our guts.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Nothing Sacred show for October. It is the 1st of October, 2023 that we're recording this. I am Cruise Control.
And I am Maxwell Silverhammer.
And we are rocking and jamming and jamming and rocking.
Jamming and rocking and jamming.
Rocking and jamming, man. Jamming JC and fucking rocking.
Rocking B.
Yeah, Rockin' MS.
MS, yeah.
That sounds like someone who has
MS. That does sound like
muscular sclerosis who's in a rocking chair.
Yeah. Like, or either that or dude has uncontrollable he rocks and can't control himself.
Bing,
like a nerve shock or something.
Bing,
so. Well, dude, I got a story.
Oh, you got a story. What? You have a story?
Yes, I do. Here's the story here.
Is it your
bitches.
Story?
It's not my story. It's actually something that happened to a friend of mine, dude.
Oh,
man. So this is pretty fucked up.
Is this one of those stories that tells us we thank God you're not, be blessed about your own life?
Pretty much. Okay. Yeah, dude. I mean, because
in other words, like if you think you got it bad, you might not have it as bad as you think you do.
Yeah, well, I know it's definitely gonna piss you off, dude, when I tell you this, because it's something we talk about a lot.
Oh shit.
So here we go. All right.
Here we go. All right.
This friend of mine, all right, I guess he's been dating this chick for about a year. She's a massage therapist, and he's going. That's where they first met. You know, he used to go in to get massages from her, and she would sort of up the ante a little bit and do a little extra for him, if you know what I'm saying. And so they kind of started seeing each other. She's giving him blowjobs. He's kissed her, he's played with her tits, but he's never gone below her waist.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so. Anyway, and they go out to dinner. Sometimes she comes over and makes them dinner, apparently. You know, I know he was showing somebody her picture and everything, and they were like, wow, she's pretty. So anyway, the other night we're hanging out, and I'm like, so he tells me what happened. He said he was out with another friend. He got a text from her, and it said, are you open-minded? And he goes, what do you mean by open-minded? And she texts back, well, I have male parts. And so then she sends a dick pic, and he's just like, oh my God. So he's just like, what the fuck? So, when I was talking to him, he's like, dude, I don't even feel like having sex. Like, I don't even want to touch my own dick now. But I mean, can you imagine, dude, like how fucking deceitful and disgusting that is?
Oh, but Max, that's not deceitful now. That's his fault for not being accepting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the way they think. And he was saying that too. He's like, what if I masqueraded as a woman just so I could fuck a lesbian? And then they found out, like, wouldn't he get all kinds of shit? Because
of course he would. Or anybody, but God, that's a violation, man.
Totally.
That's a total violation, because you wouldn't like it's just as crazy as if she had said she was like 14.
Exactly. Like saying I'm a child for real. This is my real age.
Like, oh my God, I got my dick sucked by a fucking kid,
Yeah.
Man, that
I know, right? Fucks you up.
It's Jesus, man, and he's got to be going through her head because he's got to feel like an idiot.
Yeah, well, that's
although he shouldn't. Because if she looks, because that's the thing, and here's what people are going to say. Well, if she looks like a chick and he found her attractive, then why isn't he fucking just live with it and deal with it? He's obviously found her attractive.
Yeah, but it has a dick, and it's something he hasn't seen. It'd be like if somebody all of a sudden said, even if they're hot, if they said, I got AIDS, you're not going to continue that relationship, I don't think.
Oh, yeah. Well, you might continue the relationship, but you'd have parameters on it. But this is obviously different. It's like, and of course, I'm sure he basically what was his response?
I mean, he basically
said, "Fuck that shit" and get away from. I can't believe you want to.
Oh, he was very diplomatic from what he told me, because he said that I guess he texted her and just said, "Look," or I should say it, texted it and said, hey, look, we are what we are.
Or him.
Texted him and just said, hey, look, we are what we are, and that's just it. And then I guess he texted my friend good morning at one point, and so he just texted back good morning, and I'm like, be careful, don't get too vocal with this person, because you don't want them to assume that there's still a chance. You know what I mean?
Well, does she have personal information about this dude?
She's been to his house, so she might.
Or he or she.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem. Maybe she does identify as a she. And here's my rule about that. All right. If you identify as a she, you can be addressed. I mean, I would address you as a she because that's the way you want to be identified. If if that's, it doesn't give me, I don't give a shit. It's not a big deal. Obviously, you know how I feel. I don't fucking care.
Right.
So I guess if she wants to be known as a she, but she's not a male. I mean, she's not a female.
Female, right?
She's not female. She is a trans woman,
right?
And therefore, that's not the same. Because there's a lot of people, dude, out there now, dude, that say, "Well, if you're a transphobic if you wouldn't date a trans woman if you're a man and you're straight." And it's what? That's fucking ridiculous. You don't find that attractive,
right? It's a turnoff for you
because it's fucking, that's the way that shit goes, though, man.
And
it's also, what about, and people, well, she just probably felt like she couldn't be herself. Well, too fucking bad. You admit that the first fucking time you talk to her.
Exactly. Square it off. Don't just let it go a year and all of a sudden.
Hey, you want something like that? I just want to let you know, I'm a trans woman. I'm a male who thinks they're a female.
Well, here's the other crazy thing, because there are people that are turned on by that, and that's cool, if that's what you're into.
Sure.
But I mean,
if you're probably
there are dudes that are like, man, I'm kind of cool with that. That's kind of hot to me, whatever. That's their prerogative, their thing.
See, I don't. I guess that's. I mean, obviously, and anybody, people.
So why would you go after somebody that obviously, you don't know where they stand on that? Why wouldn't you go for a surefire thing like, this dude's into trannies? So
it's called a bait and switch, man.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad.
Basically, let's get the person in, so they start feeling something for each other, and they start, they start liking each other, and or he starts, like having feelings for her, and she's whatever, and then the big trick is, well, why? Well, you seem to like me if you didn't know this. Yeah, but this is huge. This is a massive fucking thing,
right? Right.
And like, what if your friend wanted to start a family?
Exactly. Like, he's got an idea of, man, we're gonna build a family together, and we're gonna.
Yeah, he can't start a family. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
well, we could get it. No, he wants to have sex with a woman. He wants to have sex with an actual female who actually has a vagina. And does not have different parts. See, that's that. And the crazy thing is, she sent him a dick pic.
Right. This is my dick.
Like, this is my dick. Not like it's. Well, first of all, the whole the surgery shit, that doesn't make you doesn't give you a vagina. It gives you a fucking hatchet wound.
Yeah, I guess.
It doesn't. You cannot make a vagina from a dick. What they do is they invert the fucking thing, or whatever the fuck they do to
invert
it.
The penis and
it causes, like, they have to clean it out, like with fucking shit, because it'll get infected easily and smells and shit, and so all fucked up.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. In my opinion, it's disgusting. I'm allowed to think that.
Right.
So
and some dudes are turned on by that. It's just like what it is.
Whatever you want to do with yourself. But also, you have to deal with the fact that it'd be like the same thing as like me, not like if you're online or something like that. Let's say you met a girl online and you really start talking and getting to know each other, and she didn't know that you were blind. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, after like months of talking, and she's like, we're going to see each other. And you're like, you know what? I want to let you know I'm blind. And
that would fuck it up.
And if she said, well, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that, and that does change things.
And that bothers me a little bit or something,
then that would be like that. But why? It shouldn't bother you. It's just good conversations.
And that's the thing. That's why when I used to use the chat lines, that's the first thing I would say. I would let people know that up front.
Of course, you want to let people know the major things about yourself. So regardless, he dodged a fucking bullet. Because even if he did find that attractive, right? Even if he did find that attractive, it's still a lie. It's still a deception.
Yeah.
She never actually told him the truth about her biology, and she never told him about her truth about her. So therefore, what else could she be hiding from him? What else would
Yeah,
she
that's
go?
it.
Oh, by the way, I also fucking
I'm
like
wanted or
kids too.
something.
Yeah, or whatever.
You know,
You know,
yeah.
like I got a dick in my asshole too. It just been lodged in there for 80 years or whatever. Who
Well,
knows?
or they well then too, man, the psychological damage. Like, dude, like he was saying, I don't know if I ever want to have sex again. You know what I'm saying? Like that'll fuck you up.
Yeah, it's a sexual assault in a way.
Yeah, it is.
Because he's kissing, making out on this dude, and she's giving him a blowjob, and it's a dude that you know, a physical dude. Because I'm sorry, if you're a biological man, you're a biological man.
Right.
Now you might have a dysphoria, which is a mental illness, and it's okay. It's okay. I know it's whatever. It's not like I'm saying you're an evil person. This bitch is evil because
Yeah. For the
bitch is
lying.
not. Oh yeah, this bitch is immoral for lying. But if you have this and you're forthright and you're like, hey, this is who I am, and you have to deal with the fact that they might not find you attractive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's fucked up, man, because it's a violation of him, because she doesn't know, you know, like I said, if it was a 14-year-old girl, he would be going, holy fuck, I just
that would be even worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, well, in the back, but obviously this person in the back of their mind knew, oh, I can't say anything because that'll turn him off and then he won't be into me anymore.
Tough fucking shit.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing?
Good God, because
like,
people,
like you said, why go where you're not wanted? You know what I'm saying?
or this person had the politically cult-like idea, which is now it's like, well, it's his problem if he doesn't find me attractive. He's an asshole. He's not tolerant. He's a transphobe and hates trans people. No, he just doesn't find them attractive.
Not turned on by it. That's it.
Can't do that now. A lot of times, that's part of the new rule. Is new parts of the new cults. They always add new shit because they get more and more progressive and add more. And
more
of
course,
shit.
It's just adding more on. You know, more going on there. So
yeah, like, oh, let's just add this. So now it's not just acceptance, because remember, at first it was all right, just tolerate. Yeah, you don't have to like it, but people are people. They're adults, and adults are going to do what they're going to do.
Right.
Then it was, oh, well, you have to actually accept it and like it. You know, to be like, wow, this is really great. You're awesome for doing this.
Right.
You're awesome for being this way. And it's like, no, they're not. They're human beings. They just have their own idea of what they are. So, and now it's like, well, now you have to date us. And if you don't date us, then you're a fucking transphobe, and you're not, you know, because I am a woman, and I identify as a woman. So therefore you have to think of me as a woman.
Yeah, you got to play my mentally ill game, basically.
Exactly. If you don't, then therefore you're a bigot, and you are intolerant, and you're immoral. So you should love this dick pic. You should be sucking my dick too.
You should be like, damn, I can't wait to play with that. Put it in my ass.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, or something.
Hey, or no. Well, you don't have to put it in your ass. You can imagine my asshole as a pussy. I've got a hole.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. How far did this person expect things to go? Like, you know, eventually he'll spring it on him and he'll go, that's okay. I'll just fuck you from behind and pretend you're female or something. You know, like what?
Yeah, that's fucking just insane. It's fucking insanity, man. And that's the way our world is, unfortunately.
Wow.
And it goes it's everywhere, man. It's sucked into everything. And it's all about this, because it's narcissism too. Like I said before. You know, it's like, hey, you gotta like address them a certain way. They give, like, even through some of the stuff I'm doing now, you know, especially here in Eugene, Oregon, you know, the hippie progressive bill. It's like you have to agree with them. If you don't, you're a bigot. And if you don't address them in a certain way, you're a bigot. And it's you're an asshole, and to be a bigot is the worst thing ever. You know, and you're immoral for not accepting people's idea of reality for themselves.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. You know, I actually had somebody, this is kind of funny. I had a driver yesterday, and I guess he said he, you know, worked on the Biden campaign or whatever. And we were kind of talking about, I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, but I learned a lot when I was doing that. So then I later said, I said, yeah, well, you know, I voted for Trump. And he's like, oh, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And he's like apologizing to me. And I'm like, dude, that's what America is, man. It's different opinions. People are different. That's what makes it good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So, and that's what we've lost, man. We can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be like a lot of people, we could hang out with people in politics might not even come up. If it did, we might talk about it and tell our things. But then if you realize they're a good person,
you don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. But now, dude, they're called the magats. If you voted, you're a magat. If you voted
a MAGA, whatever.
Well, MAGA, but they call them magats, like a maggot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you maggot. like you're a maggot because
I was a maggot then, I guess.
Because people don't. It's become sports teams, guys. It's emotional sports team bullshit. Like you're a Democrat, you're on the Democrat side. It's like, dude, I have multiple fucking views.
Yeah.
And this was illustrated too because like a buddy that we both know, we have conversations about things. He's definitely not a Trumper.
No.
And we talk about it politics, but I go, dude, this is what it used to be. We could talk about these things and realize that it's the way we treat other people. And if I see him treating people well,
then who gives a shit, right?
Who gives a shit? But now it's no. If you, it doesn't matter how well
you're not on my side. You're not my friend.
Not on my side. You're not my friend, and it's destroyed families. Oh, if you don't like you're like the anti-vaxxing and the vaccine shit. I don't give. Well,
you have a personal situation in your family where that happened. You know what I'm saying? Where the person doesn't even talk to you anymore. You know
exactly, and it's crazy because I believe differently, and they think that I'm a bad person because I believe differently.
Wow.
And it's like, well, but there's a lot of ways of different things. And the funny thing is that it doesn't matter what we agree upon. Like there's a lot of things I guarantee you that people that are opposite sides of quote Democrat, Republican agree on. It's always about what they disagree on. And if you disagree about one thing,
then you're not part of the,
then you're an evil person. Like abortion's a big fucking issue.
Oh yeah. Hot button topic. And if you mention, that I'm pretty anti-abortion or something like that, then dude, that person will probably never talk to you again.
A lot of people would, or I'm pretty pro-abortion. The anti-abortion people do the same thing.
Yep. Oh yeah. On both sides.
And I get some of the ideas around it, but if you do that, you're never going. If you really know anybody that anything you disagree with, then you're never going to become friends. And that's the thing. That's why no one has friends anymore. You notice that? Like that friendships, like making new friends, like. Obviously
because it's such a fear, like, oh shit, what if they don't agree with me? Oh god damn it. And so it's a fear, or either that, or here's another one, you'll find more like-minded people and they'll end up as your friend all of a sudden. Like, how'd that happen? And
it's like, but that's the thing, that's the danger of that is if you surround yourself with just everyone that likes you, it's all echo chamber.
Exactly. That's the term.
And it used to not be that. It used to not be that way. It used to be like, oh yeah, we're cool. Oh, he's this fucking liberal bastard over here. Oh, you fucking conservative, fuckface.
Now COVID set that in motion, bro. That shit started with COVID.
I think it was before that. I think it's been happening. I think it's been going on. Obviously, it's gotten worse. I think over the last 15, 20 years. I think the real thing that set it off was Trump.
Really?
Definitely. Oh yeah, before COVID, yeah. And I think because COVID just, and I think it's also the internet and also social media.
Yeah, well, that's a big
because everyone's got their sides and everyone's now it's just fucking ridiculous. It's just like, and the COVID it's like the dominoes were set in motion. Trump was a huge part of that, though.
Yeah. It was a big 5-year thing, But I started to notice it. Maybe it's just I became more aware of that shit as of COVID. It just seemed like. Because I had some nasty fucking arguments with people around that time on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And I had people unfriend me and all kinds of other wild shit, during that time. People were very hot button.
I think it was a combination. I think it started before with social media, like probably around 2010. Obviously there's been always people who hated Obama, and hated everything. Like we always used to talk politics and stuff like that in the early days of, stuff like that about certain things. But we would still, like, if you did agree, did like them, we were like, okay, we're still hanging out here. Let's have a beer. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about other things that we do agree with or do like to hang out with and talk about,
Right.
And then it just got worse and worse. Trump just like started the firecracker, and then the COVID just exploded it.
Damn.
And also that George Floyd shit and all this.
Oh, that was a big catalyst too. Sure.
It all happened at once, and it's all happened. And now it's all this other shit, the trans stuff and this cult like bullshit. The kids, kids getting transitioned early, which is fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where, here's the thing, it's gotten to the point where now, and this is the hard truth about it too. And I've got to admit, now I wouldn't date a woke person.
Oh yeah, well that's another thing too. It's the political views can be a deal breaker now.
Yeah, it is for me. Like, because I wouldn't date someone because these people are intolerant.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And it's like they don't want they would say, well, you aren't addressing me the way I want you to. You don't believe the way I want to, so you're a bad person.
Right, right.
And it used to be like, oh well, we have different political beliefs, and then again, I different political beliefs, but we still realize I still trust you because you're a good person.
Right.
And it just
Well,
doesn't
and
happen
I've dated people that were on the opposite side of the political spectrum from me for a while, But now you're right. I don't know, man. I don't know if that would work.
It's because it's become religified.
Yeah. Well, the term is divisive.
You're evil. Yeah, divisive. You're an evil person. It's like you don't believe in Jesus. You're evil.
Yeah, you're going to hell.
You're going to hell.
I don't want to deal with you, and all kinds of other shit.
Yeah, and it's gotten to this whole thing where, and I think it's also a generational thing, man, because it goes to the same thing with when we grew up as kids. Like, we were always told, it's about who you are. It's about your individual. It's not about your race. You're this. It's not about your sex, your race. It's not about your, it's all about who you are, how you treat people as a person,
But even people from our generation are biting into this now, and getting on board with it and going, yeah, man, it is all about your sex and your gender and everything's discrimination and racist and all kinds of other wild shit.
Yeah, because I think, it's not like the whole colorblind idea is now considered bad, or the word of the day, of course, problematic.
And whatever, or immigration issues, or if you say that they should learn English, you're a scacist, or whatever.
Exactly. You're an evil person for wanting people to be able to understand each other in a society and be able to bond,
to communicate.
Communication. And it's just, but I like I said, it definitely is showing up in certain people, like they're getting brainwashed in that way, but it's definitely way worse in the newer generations.
Well, I'm seeing like they sent out a thing the other day of what do they call it? Continuing education, like courses that we could take, for our work, or whatever. And one thing I saw was called there's one about something inclusion.
Yeah.
And then there was another one that said climate justice or something.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, whoa, man, this shit is getting fucking out of hand. Like, I never saw because I've been in this same job for 17 years now. And this is the first time that I'm seeing shit that's this far fucking wacko and crazy,
and it's all political. It's all, but because it's religious, because they don't think it's political. Here's my take on it is that religion has been like knocked down in our country.
Oh, for sure.
And everybody, the truth about humans is that we are wired to be religious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm no. We have a belief system, though.
Exactly, we're wired to have a belief system. So if you don't have one that involves like morals or God or whatever, or like let's say,
or some higher power of some sort,
you're going to become like even the term woke. That people say, where did that term come from? It came from them.
Yeah,
they used to call themselves woke. It's their term, but now they hate it because it's become such a fucking.
It's been used as a weapon towards them, like you woke people.
Yeah, because they're so fucking batshit. It's so cult-like. It's cult-like.
Well, there's their religion right there.
That's my thing. And they filled up the place where God used to be with that.
That's funny. So this is their God now.
Yeah, it's their God. So that's why they're so fucking overzealous and religious about it, because it really is. It's like, well, you have to, that's why we have to get kids. That's why they think these things are what people need to learn.
Yeah. If you just learn that, you'll be a smarter, better, more productive person.
Climate justice and
justice.
Considering, and we won't go into details, but considering some of the aspects of your
position,
job, that's fucking scary.
It is. Well, that's
because it's political, and it shouldn't be.
And even last year, when I went to one of the the association meet, it was like a meeting they had here in Vegas, and they had a bunch of different workshops for us to go to. And God damn it, man, I was hearing so much about inclusion.
There's three words. There's diversity, inclusion, and equity.
Those were them. Yep, that's what I was hearing.
DEI. They call it DI. It should be DIE, die, but because it's about the new world order, or the way people, you will own nothing and you will be happy. And DIE.
Everybody's equal.
Everybody is equal in terms of the ability to do what they want to, but they want the equal outcome. That's what equity is.
You can't be better at something than I am.
If you are, it's because of discrimination or blah blah blah, or it's the same reason you got these fucktards that won't get eye operations or ear operations, cocklers, because it'll ruin the community of the blind and the deaf community. Like,
that's stupid. If you if you're able to get vision and well, okay, no, I don't want to say that. In my case, obviously, I'd never want to see because I've never been able to see. But for somebody who, I mean, if you've always wanted to see, or
then
get your sight back,
and then you're not going to go, man, you're turning your back on the blind experience.
Hell no, man. If somebody has an opportunity to get something corrected, and hell yeah, go for it.
Well, now they got people though that identify as blind when they're not. Like,
oh well, was it you that sent me the thing about the woman who blinded herself?
Yes.
God damn, dude.
See, that's how batshit it is. Like, now they identify as somebody who's blind, and they're so. Well, if they can do that, what's the difference between them doing that or using it to improve their sight?
What the fuck is it? It's not even I'm sorry, it's not an improvement.
Yeah.
You're taking away, hey, listen, if you were born, I could be reborn again, I would probably have sight.
Yes, because you'd know how, because you would. Like,
it wasn't like I chose.
You have to depend on people, and you would be born with it and used to it. The reason why you don't want sight is not because sight is stupid. It's because it's stupid for you, because it would totally have you relearn everything in your life over.
Exactly. This is what I know.
Fuck up your life, which is fine right now. And that's how you know. It's not because sights are dumb. I don't ever want. It's because it would completely fuck you up for years. I don't
see, and people don't understand that either. I've heard people say, "Well, I think you're lying to yourself. You're not being honest with yourself." No, this is the way I'm used to living.
It's just the fucking way you're used to. Like, even me, even if I got both my eyes fixed, it would take me years to get used to having two eyes. I've never had two eyes.
Even for you, because you have vision. So
I have vision now. I would get used to it easier than you. But having to focus two eyes at once, and having to worry about depth perception, I have massive probably headaches for a while.
It'd be a sensory overload for you, probably.
And I'm sure it's the same thing with anybody who gets their sight back, or gets their sight or gets sight for the first
sight
time.
Repair,
there are
restored.
People that do that. There are people that have done that have been blind for life and gotten sight.
Hey man,
and look more into that.
If they want to do it, that's
them.
them.
See how long it takes them to actually fucking really, really adapt to having sight.
See, and this goes back to what you say too, with the individuality versus the collective fucking groupthink bullshit. Where obviously I'm speaking for me. I'm not speaking for every blind person who was blind since birth. There might be some that want to have sight. Hey man, that's your business, dude. You do what you do. Good. I'm just talking for me.
Just like there might be some guy who likes a man with tits
and a dick,
looks like a woman and a dick.
There are dudes like that.
If they're not, then just like there's people that don't find blind people attractive or visually impaired people attractive or anything else attractive. Like that's or
and it happens.
Drive
and you deal with it. It's not people make that like it's a bad thing too. Well, that's messed up that they wouldn't date you because you're blind. I'm kind of glad, because you know what? I'd rather have somebody that's totally hip and interested and knows my capabilities and shortcomings versus somebody who has no fucking clue that I'm going to have to teach and babysit. Fuck that.
This is one way you fuck those people over. You say, all right, well, how about all the blind people that would never date someone who's blind? Because there are a ton of blindos.
Man,
we know of some of them.
Yeah, there's some blind girls I wouldn't go near. What I mean?
I'm talking about just because they would say no, not because, but because they're blind. Like, well, I want a man, I want a partner who drives.
We got a friend like that.
Yep. I want a partner who drives. I want a partner who sees. I don't want a partner who's blind. I don't want a partner I want a partner who's able to drive and can help, can do those things. So I can
things I need done.
Exactly. Or whatever,
it's like,
which for me, it's like, okay, but then again, I would date someone who's totally blind, but it would be, I would rather date, I'd prefer to date someone who could see.
Right. Well, either way,
there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have a problem. Well, obviously, that I've dated girls that are been blind, visually impaired, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, you don't care.
Yeah,
but if you did care, that would be your prerogative. It's your prerogative to find what you find attractive. There's nothing. Just like this whole fat fucking acceptance bullshit.
Oh, you don't like me because I'm fat? Well, it's a turnoff. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Like you don't like women that aren't Caucasian by ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? Not as far as dating goes, you know what I'm saying?
It depends. It's an individual basis, but overall, in general, no, I don't, and that's nothing wrong with that.
Right? No,
there's nothing wrong with finding someone who's attractive, because I'm not saying there aren't any people that are not quote Caucasian that are attractive, because there are some.
Sure.
But overall, in general, Just like there are some cute overweight girls, but overall, I'm not into overweight women either.
Right.
And it's okay. Just like some people aren't into white dudes. Some people aren't into
yeah. There you go.
You know, and that's a thing. You're allowed to be fine, but that's the thing.
But that'd be okay. You see, there's the double standard right there, man.
Yes,
you know?
Yes, that would be okay.
Like, oh well, they're not into white people. You just have to accept that. But don't say you're not into somebody of color. Oh boy,
don't say you can't say that. You can't say that overall you don't find certain things attractive, and it's okay. It's not like I don't find them human beings or worth dignity and worth respect, or they couldn't be great friends.
Yeah,
or maybe I grow more attractive to them if I were around them longer. But initially, sometimes it's just the initial attraction. But that's the problem is the narcissism, man. They demand other people to think of them the way they think they should be thought of.
Right.
And
it's in their mind.
The world works. Yes, like it's my. You should think of me in this way because I
think of myself that way.
Yeah. Well,
therefore you have to too.
Yeah. Because you need to reinforce my idea of who I am.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't validate your own shit. You need somebody else to do it for you too.
And that's where the pronouns and all that bullshit comes in. And that's where the whole attractive to these people, because like you need to address me this way because that's another fucking word I'm fucking tired of. And it's all in this DEI bullshit.
I don't even know what that is.
That's DEI is diversity, inclusive, equity. Diversity, inclusive, equity. You'll hear it constantly. Diversity, inclusion, equity. You're inclusive. We're inclusive, except if you don't agree with us or if you're a white male. Right. Then it's not. Then because they are basically discriminating now. They're allowed. It's okay to discriminate against certain people now.
Oh, of course.
Because of past wrongs that, of course, I had.
Right, because of what they did, what their people's did to your people's is.
And diversity is all about, it's all about superficial bullshit. Diversity is the color of your skin, your sexual preference, your gender, and whatever. It's never about your ideas, because if your ideas are different, they hate you. They hate black people that are conservatives.
Oh yeah,
they hate gay conservatives. How could you be a gay conservative?
You're confused. You're lost.
You're lost. Yeah, exactly. You're confused because you're a gay person that doesn't believe in abortion. How dare you be gay and be pro-life? Whoa, right. That's because I'm a fucking individual.
Yeah, exactly. Just how it is.
I'm a fucking human being who comes into my own decisions about things, not based upon that stuff. But that's what happens when you deal with people like that. Like politics.
Yep. Because that's what's the term? God damn it, I forget where it's dogmatic or like almost it's fascist. It's funny. These are the
dogmatic fascist. Yeah.
Yep. They claim to be anti-fascist, but they're the biggest fucking fascists.
Yes, just like the language police. Like you have to address me like this. You can't call me this. Like I'm just reading something that says, "Don't use the term guys when you say hey guys." Because that's not inclusive. Use the term folks instead.
Give me a fucking break, man. That's stupid.
Fuck you. I'll tell you whatever I want to say, but it's your personal truth.
Oh, Jesus. Truth. Your personal truth, maybe not mine.
Yeah.
So I got to live your truth too,
yes,
huh?
Yes, you do. And the trick is because their truth is more important than your truth for
exactly.
some reason. It's like, what if my personal truth is that I don't like these kind of people? Well,
right.
Ridiculous, dude.
Yep.
So that felt so bad for your friend, dude. That's just that would really fuck me up too.
Yeah. Well, like I said, man, he may never have another normal relationship again, like or dating relationship. You know what I'm saying?
He's never gonna trust a girl who's just meets him.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to fucking say, hey, I need to see proof that you're a female.
Well, it's like I guess that's where you got to do the whole walkthrough, man. You got to make sure that all the shit is
fucking insane, dude.
So
just fucking people be honest. But I don't want people. Well, too fucking bad. Okay.
Yep.
Selfish fucking asshole. Fucking bitch.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's all for this person.
Hey, you're not a woman. You're not a female. But I'll still call you a cunt because that bitch is a cunt.
Yeah, exactly. Cunt, a faggot, whatever.
A trans cunt.
Yep, a homo, queerbo, fucking whatever.
Whatever. Who doesnes matter? Yeah, you're a fucking piece of shit, and not because of your sexual preference or your identity, because you are a immoral fuckface who fucking use deception to trick a dude into doing something that he would not have done if he had known that from the beginning.
And here's the crazy thing. Okay, let's say he was just going in there getting massages and it came up, oh, that I'm trans. He would probably be cool with her. Okay, well, hey, it's cool. You're trans. I get it. That
you're
works.
a good masseuse. Whatever. You're doing a good job. I like the job you do. I wouldn't give a shit about
Exactly.
It's like I
Like,
wouldn't give a shit if a gay guy gave me a massage.
exactly. Well, I've had a gay dude give me a massage. That ain't
Yeah,
shit.
who fucking cares? They're giving you a fucking massage. Now, if they started running their hands on my, whoa,
Like
hey,
playing with my asshole or
it's like
something, then we'd have
anything
a
else,
problem.
though.
But
Exactly. But they're not going
that's
to
the
do
thing.
that because it doesn't make them do that because they're gay. It makes them do that because they're sick fucking assholes.
So,
not
but yeah,
because
the
they're
fact
gay.
that you got to be underhanded, and then lie about what you're doing for a whole year, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, I'm a man. Did you know that? Like, okay, now you just fucked it all up. You could at least, you guys could at least been friends. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You did
now there's nothing, and now you fucked his psychology up. But he has to learn how to deal with it. Fuck you. You fucking that's disgusting.
Actually, I gotta tell you, it kind of scares me. It does kind of scare me a little bit, dude. Like, fuck.
Well, it should scare you because this dude could see,
yeah,
and he could see that that she looked, he put on makeup and stuff like that, and it depending on the voice, I'm sure there's some people's voices that you thought were men or women, and that were both that were
yeah. Well, I mean, I never met her, but from what everyone said, she was very pretty and looked like a woman and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, wow,
insane, man.
So yeah,
Jesus Christ, dude. And it all goes back also to this fucking community bullshit where it's all like where people can speak for, well, as a
gay man, well,
I can you
speak for every gay person, do you?
Yeah, no, they speak for themselves. And I hear that it's all that, and it's all that bullshit, like where, well, you're not dating her. It's offensive to me too. Well, fuck, why?
Why? What do you care?
Because I'm a trans woman. Well, it's not you.
Right.
Well, but still, it does because we're both trans women. Well, that's fucking batshit,
So yeah, we're part of the same tribe. Whatever.
Yeah. Wow. All right, man. So
that's that for that bullshit, tranny bullshit.
I got something kind of not on that subject at all, actually, but we were talking about the other day about how I had an improv show last night, and I'm going out of town. I'm doing all this shit, but we were talking about how it seems like as we get older, I don't know what the fuck it is, but everything I do now, it's like there's always a little bit of sense of like
an inhibition, where you're like,
almost like,
I probably shouldn't.
Know if I want to do that, or well, this could happen, or that could happen. I don't know if
so crazy, man.
I want to get it over with, or and I'm like, what the fuck? Like even last night, I'm like doing before I do the show.
It's kind of weird. Like all of a sudden, there's fears about things that you used to love to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and it's not just you, man. I get them too sometimes.
Yeah, and it's part of getting older. Yeah, why am I getting older? It's like a bad habit of like as I'm getting, is it because I'm getting older or something? But it's like last night, yesterday, I'm like, okay, we're doing this improv, and I'm and before I went there, I'm like, oh, we got to get there early, and I'm gonna wait around. And I know how it used to be before I do a show, I get all nervous and I get all anxious, and I don't know if I want to. And of course, I get there, and the closer the show gets, I am anxious, because that's the way I am before show.
But once you get up there, it's like, what the fuck?
And even though I'm anxious, I'm still like, this is fucking great, because you need to be anxious. You need to fucking have that, like, oh, well, that's gonna happen sometimes,
Right? Yeah, yeah.
And maybe it's just being oh, well, I don't want any new. I want to be safe. I want to be fucking.
And that's the thing, dude. This is what's scary, because I see it with, even mainly my mom. Yeah. Like where certain things, okay, my mom used to love to go to dinner. She does not go out to dinner now at night because she doesn't like to drive at night. So there's this fear. It's like, this is something you've always done, and now you're afraid of it. It's the weirdest shit,
Well, that could be an eyesight thing, but
could be, but there's other stuff. Okay, well, even a better example, when my grandmother was starting to get older, we'd invite her to dinner and she would like turn it down and say, no, I don't think I want to have, no, I'm good. It's kind of like, well, this is something we always did, man. This is nothing new, so it's kind of weird how you become, as you get older, you have these inhibitions of things you used to love to do,
I think it's because so much more shit starts happening to you, and you see so much shit happen in the world, like that you're just like, oh, I'd rather just be safe and sit in my fucking house.
I guess
do the same things I'm used to doing. Like, do you get it for anything? Like, do you, like, for instance, like when you go to work anymore, the other days you're like, oh, I gotta go to work.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking, or even stuff. God, what was it? There was something recently, and I'm drawing a blank here, but it was something that I used to love to do, and then all of a sudden now I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. What the fuck was it? I cannot remember. No, it was something. Oh God, and it might have even had. Oh, you know what? I think it was our last interview. where I'm like, oh, dude, this I don't know, man. I hope this goes well. And then I'm like, the fuck, this is what I love.
Yeah, you do this all the time. Yeah, again,
Yeah.
and that's happened before with shows. Like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. And like even today, I will. It's weird when I get up. It happens more when I'm laying in like bed when I get up.
Thinking about shit.
You're like, I don't know, and I'm like, dude, just do the show. Once you start doing it, it doesn't. It goes away. But it's
Right.
before. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even stupid stuff like, oh man, I gotta call this person. Oh fuck.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Oh,
and you're like, why am I doing that? Why is this such a problem for me?
I got a replacement card. I've got to go through all my stuff and change the card around.
Well, that is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
that is.
But it can be, but it's still like something you don't get anxious about. You just go, it's a pain in the ass. You don't go,
yeah, well, that I could see a little bit of anxiety with, but for just to call a friend and I better check and make sure that we're still on for today or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why is that an issue? You know what I'm saying?
Why it's a lot of things, man. It's
wow.
It's age, it's our society. I think our society is so broken that we're just you can't help but be affected by society. Like you can't, and everyone's a fucking nervous wreck. Everyone's on something. Like even last night, I was making. I get really anxious before shows, but once the show starts, I'm like.
But that's always been you, to your credit. I mean, that's
I know, but I know. But then the people there were going, oh, well, I just take some beta blockers and I'm good.
Fuck all that.
I take a Valium.
I'll take some drugs or something.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. It's like everyone's just on something, or everyone's always nervous. Like the younger generation's completely always just a wreck. Like like people that like my nephew is a wreck. But it's social media.
Yeah,
and just the way, and also I think something still feels, and I'm not supernatural most of the time, although lately I've been noticing shit like just there's something's happening, man.
Yeah, you can feel a shift, right? Like something's off.
Something's off, and something's great, whether it's AI or our society or the magnetic fields and around the Earth or something. Something just feels fucking off.
A little bit off, yeah.
Like something big's gonna happen at some point.
And actually, you're not the only one who says that. I've heard that from a few people now.
Yeah,
that something just doesn't feel right. Something feels a little ominous somewhere.
Ominous or off, or just there's something big is gonna just totally either destroy what we know, change it fundamentally, and it might make it better, but it's not going to be good.
But at first, you're not looking forward to it. You're like, it's going to disrupt something.
It's going to disrupt shit. Like I think it might be AI part of it, but I think also just the climate is changing. Like things are changing. Like you can feel something in the air, as human beings, like something subconscious or instinctive that just
where things are different, man. They aren't like they were, say, 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So because you got to admit, man, from now to 2013, shit was way different back then. You know what I'm saying? If you trip, just
God, completely. It just feels like a different world, man. It just feels something. It's not just America; it's everything.
It's the world itself.
It's the world itself, or like the cosmos or something. It's just we're in for some big shit continuing because it's gotten. Think about how much it feels different in the last 5 years since 2018, even.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and now just go ahead to 5 years from now, and like next year is going to be crazy with the election and all this crazy AI shit going on, where they can mask people's voices and mimic people's voices. They can mimic people's voices now, obviously.
Oh sure, Somebody could do an AI of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, so, nothing sacred. It would sound fucking.
It would just sound like us, like how we sound. Right
I know it'd be fucking freaky, and it's going to be that way down the line. Movies and books, like you'll be able at some point. I've talked about this before, but you'll be able at some point to go, you know what? I want to listen to an audio book in the voice of Morgan Freeman about the zombie apocalypse, and the main character's a blind guy, and then
it'll make that book for you.
It'll make that book for you and read it in Morgan Freeman's voice.
Well, you know that
young blind man.
This was crazy because I was on. I don't use LinkedIn much, and I'm really not a big fan of it, honestly. But there was somebody that I was thinking about getting on the show. So I was like, oh, let's see. I found their LinkedIn. So let me write them a message. And one of the options was send them an AI message. So I guess it would write a message based on, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
Yep.
You know? So I'm like, wow, I can't even just compose a message to this person. Hey man, what, like I usually do. It's like, I can have AI do it now.
and that
Wow.
it'll read what they wrote to you and respond in a way, I guess, I don't know,
Damn,
that
that's
you
kind
might
of
it's fucking dystopian scary, but it's also crazy exciting in some ways too, because things like medical stuff is going to be changing rapidly over the next couple of years. It's going to be crazy, man.
yeah, yeah. Well, it will be different. So we'll see
Yeah.
what how it ends up.
So
So I
now, of
speaking of
course,
oh, go ahead.
speaking of different, go ahead.
Oh, speaking of changes and things. All right, so I got some paratransit stuff going on.
What?
Oh, dude, yeah, I got some
No.
paratransit stuff.
What? A
Wouldn't you believe
paratransit
it?
story on our monthly Nothing Sacred show?
Yeah, that.
No
Oh, how's that
fucking
happening, right?
ways.
How could that happen?
Tales from the paratransit.
So they've been getting me to appointments pretty much consistently late.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the last couple, like 2 or 3 weeks, they were just getting me to shit way late. So we did an event, and it was like a health fair, and our table just happened to be right next door to RTC. They had a table next to ours.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking to this woman, and I'm telling her, I'm expressing my frustration with, the fact that it seems like paratransit doesn't even make make a half-ass attempt to try to get people to their appointments on time anymore. And so she's like, well, that we have a lot of on-demand services that, we were trying to get, that people could use too, and it might be better for you. So she told me about this thing called Silver Riders.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what it is it's kind of like Uber or Lyft, but it's a car that comes and picks you up, takes you directly to your destination. It once in a while, I guess it is shared ride. They might pick up one other person, but it's for ambulatory people. So this way, you don't have to sit. That takes a little off of it, because you don't have to sit and wait for the bus to pull up and pick up some fucker in a wheelchair and tie him down and do all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. So I was like, okay, well, that sounds great. I mean, anything that's going to improve my fucking, being able to take paratransit. Well, they fucked up several times already, dude, since I've been using Silver Riders. Once they were way late picking me up from work, and when I was trying to check on the ride, they said something about, oh, your driver didn't see your ride on her tablet or something. And so what they had to do is grab another driver. Basically, the guy was at his nephew's football game, and they had to say, hey, can you go pick up Max? So they had to send this dude to come pick me up. The second fuck up they did was, I got a ride and whatever, and then I get a text that my vehicle has arrived. Well, I hear the backup signal. I'm like, well, they sent a bus. Why the fuck did they send a bus? I'm supposed to be taking the Silver Rider thing. But I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go out, I get on the bus. Well, once again, typical in paratransit fashion, I get to work 20 minutes late again,
Mm-hmm.
Well, the biggest fuck up was last week. The night before, I always get a text to tell me what time my rides are going to be the next day, So I didn't get a text, and I'm like, why did I not get a text? Did I not set up a ride? What the fuck? So I call in. You remember how you used to be able to call in, and the automated system would tell you your rides and what time they were and everything. So I did that, and it did say I had a ride the next day. So I'm like, okay, so I do have a ride. It's a 6:24. Okay, cool. So I get up the next day, and I'm getting ready and whatever. So then I get a text about 6:06 or so saying that my ride's going to be arriving late at 7:05. Well, that doesn't really bother me, because I'm like, okay, well, it's just a car. It's just going to pick me up and take me straight to work. So whatever. So then about 6:55, I get another text saying that my ride will be there in 9 minutes. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, 9 minutes comes, 9 minutes goes. So I can check online to see exactly how, because sometimes the texts are not 100% on, you know what I'm saying? They're not as consistent. So I check online, it says your ride will be arriving momentarily. Well, it keeps saying that, like it's not changing. So finally I call in and I ask them, where's my ride? It said my ride was supposed to be here like 9 minutes ago or whenever it was. So the person, they put me on hold. They never came back to the phone. So I'm like, well, fuck this. I got to do something. So I took Uber, and I said, I'm pissed off, because I'm like, okay, this is some bullshit. So once again, I did my Karen, and I write the county commissioner who's over RTC. I find out who it is.
Of course you do.
I tell the story, and I attach the go-go grandparent trip receipt to the email and say, I would like to be reimbursed for this ride this morning. So a little while later, I get a call from somebody over there. Her name's Tanya. And she's like, I've got to find out. But see, they're hiding behind this whole, well, it's a pilot program, and you just got to understand, and you got to be patient, and all this other dumb shit. So that's what she's saying to me. And she's like, I'll find out what happened to your ride, but also, can you send me an email with that receipt so we can reimburse you? And I'm like, okay, sure. So anyway, long story short, I did send that on to her. And then I guess she checked it and something had happened, man. I don't know. Somehow the ride got fucked up. And I'm not the only one having problems, by the way. I talked to some other friends last night and they take it too. They take the Silver Rider thing,
Of course, they opened up to everybody. If it's a pilot program, keep it. They should be
telling
you about this shit before they actually. Oh, well, this is a great new program.
Yeah, well, but what I was told is there were only 17 people doing it at the time. So I'm like, okay, cool. That can't be too bad. Well, it seems like I said, I got some friends that use it, and one of them was like, yeah, I went to one of those meetings and I said, well, why don't you just put us all back on paratransit till you can figure out what the hell you're doing? Because I think they don't fully have a grasp on what the fuck's going on.
So you're no longer on the normal program at all?
No, now when I schedule a paratransit ride, it automatically should go to Silver Riders.
Okay.
So that's how it should be. But like what happened the other morning, I did still get on a paratransit bus. And then that was the whole, there's a million, they have several canned excuses they give you. And one is, we don't have enough drivers for Silver Riders. So when that happens, we have to put you on paratransit. Other just weird shit.
They should just let people know that it's a pilot program and that you're going to be dealing with that. Although, considering how long you've been doing it now.
About 2-3 weeks.
Okay, so you've had how many rides have you had on it? Dozens and dozens.
I've had more than 10.
So you've had 3 rides bad over at least more than 10 rides.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So they haven't screwed up every ride. It's not a complete disaster. But
no, it's not horrible. It's when it's good. But it's just like, God damn, man, what's all these glitches about? It's like the whole reason I'm taking this shit is so I don't have to deal with what paratransit get me to work late all the time.
But paratransit did get you to work on time a lot more than it got you on it
back in the day. But now, dude, they're to the point. I'm telling you, they're to the point.
It's that bad?
Yeah,
really.
Like I'm like I said, pretty much for the whole month of September, when I was taking paratransit, I don't think they ever got me to an appointment on time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. No. That's what they were doing. I mean, it might even be 10 minutes late sometimes, not as late as others, but basically got me to.
But never early or never right on time.
No, exactly. So it was always late for appointments. And when I had that doctor's appointment, they got me there 30 minutes late. I actually thought they weren't going to see me.
Wow. What about even just like to work, getting you to work? Like, is that late still?
Or those are the meat of most of the appointments.
Yeah. So that could affect you basically if it's because some of these fucking places that they don't give a shit how you better be here. It's your responsibility.
No, one cool thing about my supervisor, she said, if you're going to be running more than 15 minutes late, just call me and let me know. You can flex out the time. And I'm like, okay, fine. So thank God. But most employers wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? So
that's well, the good thing is though that at least it's an improvement. So maybe this is a glass half full moment. I know I'm being like I'm going to be a little devil advocate here.
All right, well,
but like seriously, because it's getting you there on time the vast majority of times now, so it's a vast improvement over it.
True, over what
you're focusing on the 3 times that it says 3 times this time, but there's been 10, 20 times that it hasn't done that. At least 20 times.
They do want feedback though, so
obviously,
and they did. Dude, they did reimburse me. She actually came to my work with money to reimburse me for that Go grandparent trip. It was $28.
Cool, man. Well, that's cool. Hey, they're trying.
Yeah, and I could see that's true. They are trying. They are trying at least, okay, we're gonna compensate you, so that's cool, But here's the thing: why do you have to? Some people just aren't. They don't have the energy to do that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, like why can't you just do your fucking job? So
yeah, that's pretty but still, like at least that's one thing about getting older too. We always focus on everything that's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this isn't this, but hey, how much better was it before? Doesn't matter. They still screwed up.
I don't know if that has anything to do with. I was the same way when I was younger, if you remember.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You've always you get angry and then you go out, but then even though it's much better than it used to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess that's the line. It's like take it for what it is,
Yeah. And there's several workarounds too. There's another service, Tango Car, which I can take too, which I actually took yesterday to an event we did for, I had to work for a
Mhm.
couple hours yesterday. So, and that got me there on time, you know what I'm saying? And they
Yeah.
picked me up on time. So they've been actually, Tango Car's been very good, maybe even better than Silver Riders, so maybe that might be another possibility.
Yeah,
So,
well, who knows? But it sucks. Like I said, obviously, because it's frustrating. Because it all comes back to control. It's about because if you had your way, you'd be there all the time
no
earlier.
shit. Like if I
It was
drove,
yeah.
I'd be there. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that whole system with all the people using it and all the fucking people abusing it now.
Well, though, there you see, you just hit the nail on the head. It's all
Yeah.
these fuck faces that I've got PTSD from
Yeah.
when my drunk father used to ass rape me as a
Yeah.
child.
So I can't
Now,
drive. I'm afraid of loud noises. So I can't do. So I have to do. Yeah. That's
well,
taking it.
and here's the other fucked up thing. Like these people that are taking, that know that they shouldn't be using the service are
Yeah.
very vocal about it. I'm like thinking, dude, if I was taking advantage of some shit like that, I wouldn't say a thing.
No, because they think they have the right to. And
Yep.
and
What are you gonna do to me? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care. I had the right. There's I was watching there's this thing on let me find it. Just be the last thing. This is
Right.
how fucking stupid our world is here. Let me go over here and find this hold on.
What is it like? Some?
It's something that was posted at a play.
Oh, okay.
And let me go back. Let me just go back to my profile. Here we go.
Hmm.
Hold on me.
Hosted at a play. It was something that you went to, or was it something that you just happened to see online? Like kind of a.
It's not that I saw it online. It's
Oh, okay.
let me try to find it. Let me see if I can find it here.
Man. So that's yeah, man. This shit's been.
Give me a second here.
Yeah, no, do your thing, man. Dig around for it.
But yeah, so that definitely is something that
Well,
you
that's
have to fucking
shows you, man, that
yeah,
shit.
deal with.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, everything has to change. It's, but and obviously I've ridden the service, for what 27 years. That's some shit.
Here we go. This
Okay.
is 27 years. So, and obviously it's gotten worse and worse. So at least, like I said, at least they're doing something to improve. But
True.
here's the here's Richard III. This is a story. This is a note on a wall about a play. Richard III contains scenes of death, violence, and threat. This production uses latex balloons, one of which it popped on stage. For more information, please speak to a member of staff. Basically, it's saying now this.
If you're scared,
it's a show, and there's a balloon that pops.
Jesus Christ! So because the bang might scare some. You know what? I do remember some shit, and I can't remember what it was. Where they did something similar like that, where so they wouldn't scare people, or it was something about a noise. Oh, you don't know? You know what it was? It was during I want to say it was an Eminem concert. And at one of the songs, I guess there was a gunshot sound in the song or something, and the person in the audience flipped out and said they were triggered by it or some weird fucking dumb shit.
Yeah, and one of the responses are actually, I think this is very useful if you have PTSD having come back from a war zone, for example. I'm like, listen, if you go to an artistic endeavor, the popping of the balloon, because people are like, well, it might startle people. And it's like,
that's just how it is.
Because that's part of the art. It's like a loud noise in a scary movie. It's going to startle
that's the thing too. Yeah, scary movies. That's a good, yeah.
It's like anything in it. The whole point of it is to cause surprise. Like there are people that go, well, this show has sexual abuse in it.
Death in it.
Yes, because that's the impact. When you don't know what's going to happen, it impacts you more. So if someone tells you, well, there's a rape in this movie, it ruins the impact of the rape, because the rape should be a shocking fucking thing in that movie if the author intended it that way.
Right. And you're supposed to react is what you're supposed to do. But then now obviously they took they desensitized you, and you're
so now you know it's coming. So now it's taking away a part of what the whole purpose of it was to do.
Yep. Exactly.
So it's just that just kind of goes the same thing with it. Oh, well, I can't do this because of that. It's like, man, we're fucked, man. We're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, well, we got some real snowflakes here, that can't deal with life, just basic shit in life.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, hey, listen, we get our little anxieties about things, but we keep them to ourselves. The world shouldn't have to change. You know, we're not expecting the world to change.
Or
these are
motherfuckers
to
us. Yeah.
They actually want the world to change for their bullshit. You know, like,
of course.
Oh, I want to know when the popping balloon happens and the goddamn blood sprays. And it's like, really, dude, seriously.
Yeah, just fucking. It's a work of art. Go to it and be surprised, or don't go to it at all.
Don't go if it bothers you that much. Just go live in your little bubble tin, and there you go.
Hopefully that anybody who's listened to this tonight
isn't triggered
as we wrap up, isn't triggered, didn't hear something that made them go, "Oh my god, you should have told us before."
Yeah, you were ended. So
yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to name this show something like "Warning: This show contains shit you won't agree with." That's what I'm going to say.
All right, that works. You know,
yeah, that'll be good. You know, and also, too bad about that whole fucking bullshit with your friend, man.
Yeah,
hopefully he can recoup about it and kind of get his psychological base back and bounce back.
He says he thinks he may, but sometimes people will say that, but
just gotta give time and just take time to process that, and that fucking stupid trans fucking idiot.
Yeah. Oh, that would.
I am acknowledging that she's trans and she's a fucking idiot. She deserves,
totally.
Yeah, it's fucking
and a deceitful bullshit. Piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Regardless of anything else, deceitful piece of shit is a better descriptor than anything else.
Yep. So, exactly.
Anyway,
on that note, fuckers.
This has been the Nothing Sacred Show for October. It is the October 1st, 2023. I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And that's the story there,
bitches. See ya.
Yeah, fuck off.
We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred.
With Maxwell Silverhammer.
We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.